screen and say welcome, welcome, welcome to Energy Wednesdays. And it's so lovely to see all of you here, and I'm sure some of you will be watching the recording as well. So today I'm outside again. I'm wanting to make the most of the summer. We're now into evening, so I'm in the UK and it's 6 p.m. UK time. So making the most of these lovely evenings, and we're just feeling the beginnings of going into our autumn time. And last week we covered about letting go, and little did we all know that the big news was going to be towards the end of that week, and it seemed to be very fitting. But it's actually as we are coming towards the transition between the seasons from summer into autumn, there's a lot of things that are shifting and changing and coming up in our systems to be cleared. And the very first day that we started the Energy Wednesdays, oh, it's somebody else here popping on, which is great. The very first day we started the Energy Wednesdays, I started us off with the basics of the daily energy routine. And that's as the energy routine as taught mainly by Donna Eden, who sees nine different systems of energy in the body. And really it's not just working with an individual system, but seeing how they all link up together. And by working on a daily basis and throughout the day with an energy routine really does help clear any stagnant energy that we may have, and help bring in fresh energy, which helps to revitalise us, and sometimes really helps shift some of our habits that may be stuck and holding us in our energy. So the first time, yeah, I did show you how to make space in your joints, but today we're going to go straight into the energy routine. And with all of the Energy Wednesdays, so how we've been starting is we have been rubbing our hands. Our hands are our tools for us to work with. We rub our hands. And what we're doing is we're just creating a little bit of energy between our hands. So for those that don't know anything about energy medicine, even just by rubbing our hands, and we can feel a little bit of tingling, maybe feel a little bit of static. And then we just put our hands on our thighs and we ground. And it's really beautiful for me just now. I'm able to stand barefoot in the grass and sink down and ground into nature. You may be able to hear some of the birds in the evening. If you could mute yourself, that would be great. Just feel yourself grounding right down, being received by the earth. Take another couple of breaths. And then I'm just going to bring my hands right up, above my head, up to the heavens. Just reminding myself of that connection between above and below, and coming down to what is the Anjali Mudra, or in Jinshin Tara, the palm inju. And we'll hold this for a couple of breaths. And this is honouring us as the divine honorific centre of our universe. So we're going to dedicate this session today to each and every one of you, that you're going to be spending these 15, 20, maybe a little bit longer, few minutes to your own energy and your own evolution, so that you can be of whatever service you are in the world and who you are really meant to be. Okay. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're just going to cross over our energy. I'd said by holding on our shoulder, we're able to release and let go of anything that doesn't serve us. We're bringing it down to the opposite hip, and then back over to the other shoulder, bringing it down to the opposite hip. And we can do that a couple of times. Just seeing it as giving yourself just some love. It's not like I'm shaking all this bad energy off. It's like, actually, you can gently go. You can gently go. I don't need any of this, anything that's holding me back now. I'm able to free myself. And then we come up to our stomach meridian, and as I come forward I can see somebody else who's joining us, which is great. We come up to our stomach meridian, put our hands here over our jaws and onto our cheekbones, and we can take a couple of breaths and we smile, we breathe and we smile. And our stomach meridian is all about how we are nourished and how we are nurtured. And do we know when our next meal is going to come, and when our next meal is going to come from, that we can trust in the universe? So we are going to start at the beginning point of the stomach meridian, and we're just going to give it a little gentle tap. So we're sending information from the beginning point of the stomach meridian right down to the end point, which is down at our second toe. We're breathing and we're smiling. We're trusting. I'm just going to see if I can mute everyone here. There. Mute. Okay, so, and somebody else is joining us. So we're just giving a nice gentle tap here, trusting in the universe, trusting in whatever issues we may have with scarcity or worry, that everything is going to be okay, that the universe provides for us. Then we can bring our hands right down, just a kind of a massage down our neck. And then we find our collarbone. And we come to our collarbone, we feel that knobble there, and we come down just at the bottom of our collarbone and we come out. And there's a little dip there. And we can just give it a little bit of a rub. So we've gone from the beginning point of the stomach meridian to the end point of the kidney meridian. And our kidney meridian actually goes deep in and supplies, it helps with our vision and our brain function. But this is where it ends at the surface of the skin. This is the 27th point of the kidney meridian. So you can give it a little bit of a tap. If you don't want to give it a tap, you can put your hands on either side and you can just hold. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to hold here and hold over my belly. And the kidney meridian is about energy moving forward. It's setting the rhythm of all our meridians. So we can we can cross our hands over, we can give it a little rub. So I'm changing this around slightly from it's the same, it's the same exercise as taught by Donna Eden, but just doing it in a little bit of a gentler way. The more intention and more presence we bring to these exercises, the more they are going to help change our systems. So that's come from the stomach tap there to the K27, and now we're coming to our sternum, and this is really important just now as we're coming into the change of seasons, when we become more vulnerable to the changing environment. And we're just going to tap here on our sternum, on our chest bone, and that's called the Thymus Tap. So a very gentle tap, and if you want you can do it like a waltz. I'm not the best of dancers, so that's perhaps not the best of waltzes, or medically I can go lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. It's tuning into my heartbeat. And some of you may follow some of the Eden method videos, and they may say by doing it like Tarzan. Really, and the children really love that. But generally recently I've been drawn to doing it in a quieter way. So that's 3 of the 4 thumps, and the 4th thump here is our spleen thump. So we come to our armpits and a hand's width underneath it, and you can give yourself a hug to do this, and just rub in to either points here. I'm giving myself, quite a bit of a hug here. I can go like this and pretend to be a monkey and go ooh, 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 if I want to, and if that doesn't rock my boat, well, I can just give it a nice rub here. And we can also come round to our spleen neurolymphatics, which are underneath our breast, or in males just underneath your nipples. Okay. And we had already started off with a crossover shoulder pull, but we can do a few more crossovers now. And I'm just going to bring my hands into a figure of 8 and smile. Whatever you can imagine, whatever you can manage even and imagine. And it's a lovely thing even just throughout the day just to do some figure of 8s to clear your space, but this is helping cross over your energies. So from the right side of the brain to the left side of the brain, to the left side of the body, and the left side of the brain to the right side of the body, because energy needs to cross over, and the information does go from right side to left side. So after we've done that crossover, we're going to do another crossover here. So I'm going to bring my hands out in front of me. I'm going to cross over my hands, my palms touching, and I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to cross over my feet, and they are, my feet are, one foot is crossed over the other one. And this is called the Wayne Cook exercise. I'm going to take 3 breaths and smile. Third breath. And bring my hands out, uncross them, cross them the other way, bring them up again. My feet, uncross them the other way, and take 3 more breaths. And then we're going to bring our thumbs to the bridge of our nose, steeple up our fingers, and breathe. Take 3 more breaths. And smile. Then we're going to bring our fingers to the middle of our forehead, and we're going to push in, and we're going to pull apart and shake our hands off. We're going to push in and pull apart, and push in and pull apart. And if you've been on these on these Energy Wednesdays with me, you'll know that I love the exercise called Connecting Heaven and Earth. So we're going to rub our hands again, shake them off again, hands on our thighs, take a breath, bring our hands up to the heaven, down, Anjali Mudra, and then stretch up. Looking up, we can bend our wrists as much as we can, looking up to the sky, and then down to the earth, back up and back down, hands into the middle again, stretch up, look down, stretch up again, look down, hands into our midline, and come down to our feet and take a couple of breaths here. And then we can do some figure of 8s coming up the front of the body. And then around down to have our hands on our thighs again. We'll rub our hands again shake them off. We'll rub our hands once more, and we're going to hold that energy that's been built up in between our hands. And we can rub them again, and hold it. Now whatever we've got between our hands, we're going to bring it up, place it on our shoulders, and it's like a ball above our heads. And still holding this here is this magic that we're going to spread all the way around our energy field. We're going to bring our elbows in, and we're going to cross and open, and cross and open, and cross and open, and cross and open. And bring our hands back and forward, and sprinkle that energy down the front, the sides and the back of our body. We can do that again. We can feel maybe we feel there's some tingling in our hands. Bring them back up to our ears. Bring our elbows in, cross, open, cross, open, cross them as much as we want to, and then bring our hands forward and back and forward and down. I have shared the exercise about working with the neurolymphatics, and that's, you can add that on to your daily energy routine. It's something, it's a lovely thing to do in the shower. That's working with all the points in the front of the body and down the sides of the legs and inside the legs. But today we will just do the two, freeing the ileocecal and Houston valves, putting our hands down at our groins, pulling them up 3 or 4 times. Thumbs and down. An exercise I didn't do much of, we just did a little bit after the Wayne Cook, is the crown pull. So often at the end of the day we can get really quite congested. So by giving ourselves a lovely head massage right down the middle of our head, right round the back, the corners, down across our neck, shaking it off, and hanging on our shoulders. As I was saying last week, telling yourself you're doing a really good job. And then fingers into the belly button, fingers above the bridge of our nose. We push in and we pull up. And breathe. And 2 or 3 breaths. Smiling. And we're going to finish with a zip up, so we're putting our hands at our pubic bone, and we're coming up to our bottom lip, and we're doing this 2 or 3 times more. And then the last time we're going to take a lock, and we're going to lock it, and we're going to come to our sacrum, and we come up the back. Bring our fingers over, and we're going to take this lock and we're going to sew it together. And just to end, we're going to rub our hands, just shake them off, rub our hands again, and opening our hands up to the heavens, to give thanks and to be grateful for every single little thing that has got us through this day to day, and that's going to take us forward into the days, weeks, months and years to come. We have got so much to be grateful for, and there's so much that we can open up to that's available for us, and we can take some of that in to our hearts and to what Donna Eden calls a vortex called heaven rushing in. And we can do that 2 or 3 more times. Often I like to think of the first time you are asking for yourself, next time it's for people around you, and then the third time is for the whole cosmos. Just giving gratitude for everything that is available to us, and taking it into our heart. So last time, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have been doing these Energy Wednesdays with you, and I kept on threatening that I'm just going to do these for a few weeks, but certainly going to continue them till the end of the summertime. And if any of you would like to reach out with me to work on a one-to-one basis and would like to have a health and energy consultation, please do reach out to me. I think you know that myself and Dr. Sue are running the weekend next weekend in the north of Scotland, so I won't be available then because we're doing the residential retreat. But I've so enjoyed doing these Energy Wednesdays with you. So grateful that you are, that there is an interest and there's a real need for us to spend that time to connect with ourselves and also with each other, because they say if you want to go fast you go alone, but if you want to go far you go together, and this is about us going together as like-minded and intentional communities through what are quite interesting, transitional and challenging times, but there is so much that's available to us if we just tap into it. So thank you so much. I'm going to put the recording off and we can all just have a little chat for the last few minutes. So I will find the record button here and stop recording.